Interest-only loans are popular among real estate investors. Today I've got a reader question where they ask, are interest-only loans good for positively geared investment property? I'm Ryan McLean, I'm from positivecashflowaustralia.com.au, and today we're going to look at and answer this question. One of the major benefits of interest-only loans is that they help to minimize your expenses. Your biggest expense for an investment property is highly likely to be your mortgage. And by lowering the cost of your mortgage, that could mean the difference between having a positively geared property and having a negatively geared property. So it's definitely something to look at. By paying interest only and by not making any repayments on the principal of the property, so that's the amount that you owe to the bank, you can minimize your monthly expenses quite significantly. Using an example of a $300,000 property at a 6% interest rate, if we were to go principal and interest for 25 years, we would be paying approximately $1,932 per month. However, if we were to go interest only and not pay any principal, then our monthly repayments would only be $1,500 per month. So that's a difference of $432 per month. If we break that down per week, that's over $100 per week. So your rent would have to go up at least $100 in order for you to cover that extra cost. So by minimizing your costs, it could mean the difference between positively geared and negatively geared, as I said before. Another benefit of interest-only loans is that they help to maximize your tax deductions. Many real estate mentors, many tax accountants advise investors to use interest-only loans because it means they're maximizing their tax deductions. The reason this occurs is because when you're not paying down your investment loan, it means that the interest repayments are the same over time. Whereas if you're paying down your investment loan, slowly and slowly, your interest charges are going down, which means you can't claim that as tax. So many investors and many financial people will advise investors to, instead of paying down the debt on investment property, which is a tax deductible debt, pay down the debt on maybe your home, which isn't tax deductible. So looking at that, it can be a big plus for positively geared investment properties as well as negatively geared investment properties, because by maximizing your tax return, maximizing your tax deductions, you're actually maximizing your cash flow as well, because you could get a cash return or you could just not pay as much tax. Always speak to a professional accountant when you're doing anything tax related. This is for educational purposes only. One thing to look at though is that interest only loans don't pay off your mortgage. So that means that over time, let's say you have a $300,000 mortgage and you've got an interest only loan for 5 years. Well, at the end of 5 years, your mortgage will still be $300,000. So if you want to pay off your mortgage eventually, you either have to move from interest only to principal and interest and start paying down the debt, or maybe you could sell one of your investment properties or sell something and get a large chunk of money and just pay down your debt quickly like that. A lot of investors will choose to use interest-only loans, and then when it comes time to retire, they might sell a couple of their properties and use the profits to pay off completely the loans on their other properties, even though they haven't been paying it down slowly. Other investors will wait until cash flow goes up and the property is well and truly positively geared, and then they decide they want to minimize their risk, and so they start paying down their debt. So when it comes to interest-only loans, there are some major benefits in terms of cash flow and tax deductions, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to what you want your portfolio to look like, what you want to achieve, and how quickly you want to pay down your debt. For more videos, podcasts, and articles just like this one, head over to the website positivecashflowaustralia.com.au, and I hope that you have enjoyed this information.